Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock Doc Podcast,
where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as erythropoietin and Riemann parking meter, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, I am really excited to show you my recent science experiments.
Okay, now you told me about this like a month ago?
It was about a month ago. I mean, so do you remember like a month ago there was that eclipse?
Not ringing a bell.
It was like the moon. It was like the moon went in front of the sun.
Well, at night?
And it was like fought with the sun.
I think I must have been asleep. That sounds like a...
My memory is hazy. I don't remember what time of day it was, but it happened. There was a huge fight.
Who won?
The moon.
Okay, so now we have to worship the moon? Because I always felt like the moon was just reflecting the sun, and
right, and you're sort of, I mean, really passionate about Ra.
Yeah, just like, yeah. For those who aren't familiar with Egyptian polytheism, Ra was like a really cool one. So it's
no, I get that, but Dr. London, if you remember, if you can possibly think back to that day and remember what you told me, you kept saying, Cameron, if you stare at the eclipse, it is not going to give you powers. You kept saying that over and over again. And what happened? I stared at the eclipse and I did not receive powers. So you were right. Or were you?
Okay, because I feel like I know. I feel like I have some idea of what you think happened and why you think it's beneficial to you. Because you've been reading up on that Daredevil, audiobooks on that Daredevil comic, right? In the show?
Yes. Well, it's the comic adaptation of the Netflix show put into audiobook form. Yes.
Because you can't see, yeah. And it's because he's a blind superhero.
Yeah.
And so your assumption is that you did get superpowers, and those superpowers are just that you can't see anymore. Is that right?
I mean, that is a bit, you're assuming quite a bit, Dr. London. Because yes, of course, after that first time staring at the eclipse, nothing happened.
Yeah, not for a few hours.
But you were saying, okay, this is all done. It's over. You're good. It didn't work. But I have kept staring at the sun every single day since then, Dr. London. Every morning I wake up, stare at the sun for a good 30, take a nap, drive to the hospital, and then repeat. And so this is one of those things that Sorry,
what did they tell you at the hospital? Well, I guess, why do you go?
What they tell me in the hospital mostly is you can't park here.
Okay. Yeah.
This is not an area you're allowed to park.
Yeah. But you do it every day because you're afraid to lose your spot?
Oh, I have the best spot. It's right where the ambulance usually is.
But you always beat them because you're there so fast in the morning after staring at the sun.
If they want the spot, they should get there. They shouldn't be out and about doing whatever in the middle of the night. Nothing good happens in the middle of the night, Dr. London.
That's okay. That is a good point. Yeah.
But all this to say, Dr. London, I have this insane superpower where everywhere I look, it doesn't matter where I look. I can look at the TV. I can look at you right now. But there's this big, squiggly, bright line in the middle of my sight.
Yeah.
And I realize that if I adjust my head, I can use this white line to essentially obliterate my enemies. I was at Kroger earlier today. I wanted my stuff, right? I had a cart full of stuff. This guy, this cis white man tells me that will be $63.52. I just want my stuff.
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
And he's charging me a toll like he's a troll on a bridge. And so I use the bright light that is in my eyesight to sort of just adjust my head until it zaps him. Then I can't see him anymore because, the bright squiggly light in the middle of my eye. And then I leave.
So you rolled your eyes at him and then you left. Did anyone follow you? Did they yell security?
Oh yeah, people follow me.
Yeah, and you think it's because you're a superhero okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine a superhero operating without followers and fans and people trying to take pictures,
Yeah. Okay, well, so you are a superhero now in the sense that you have some vision loss and
sure. Oh yeah, I can't see for shit, but if I look the right angle at someone, I can zap them away. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have not seen that cashier since.
Have you gone back to the grocery store?
Well, I went earlier today. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Oh, have I been since? Okay. No, why would I? I already went today.
That's okay. Well, I guess I get proud of you, buddy. You really did it.
All this to say, don't piss me off in this episode, or I will use my eye laser to zap you like Cyclops.
Okay,
I'm basically Cyclops.
And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, so do look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So for a long time, our listener demographic was primarily composed of suspicious nuns. But in our efforts to cater to them, we found that we were neglecting the many bot accounts that download our podcast. So let's see, some of our listener feedback today comes from, it's some bots on TikTok, okay? This is from a comment on a response to thinking about if y'all edge or not. At PopDaddy07 said, quote, "One step closer to the edge." And then they responded to their own comment saying, "And I'm about to," end quote. So thank you so much for this feedback. They're about to do something here.
Do you want me to... This is another time where, Dr. London, you don't understand the reference.
Is it a Gen Z thing or Gen Alpha thing?
Oh, what's after Gen Alpha? Is that Gen Beta, I guess? It's a Gen Beta thing.
Yeah, it's got
3
a beta
and
thing.
under.
Okay.
So there's this band that's really huge amongst 3-year-olds called Linkin Park, right?
Okay.
And
is it because they like to go to the park to play?
Yeah, that's where they first heard of it.
And Lincoln Logs, yeah.
I mean, you give a 3-year-old a Spotify account, they don't really know what to put in the search bar except for things like park, mom, candy. Like, it's very basic. And so, they're kind of limited on what they can find. They spell poorly, so of course Linkin Park is spelled incorrectly, yeah. But they have this song that's one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Oh. Into, like, a piece of that Kit Kat bar? Or is it...
No, Dr. London. It's a song about driver's ed and car safety. One of the things that people always forget is that a car doesn't just go, but it also stops. That is 50% of what a car does is stopping, not just the going. And there's actually 2 pedals to differentiate between the two. And this is something that has been, just real, Gen Beta is so sensitive towards these kind of things, like rules of the road and just making sure that, they stay under a certain speed limit and all these sort of things.
And not hitting people with their cars. Remember, you brought that up a lot as a frustration with this new generation.
Well, that was my frustration with Gen Alpha. Like, I was driving on the road in my sort of big wheel with a lot of people who were, people who were born in like 2011, 2012, and car accidents were insane. My insurance was crazy, especially because my insurance agent was also like a Gen Alpha guy. Great lemonade though. But all this to say, Dr. London, that basically what this person is trying to say is they've been keeping an eye on your driving and you're not braking like you should.
Okay. Well, wow, thank you so much. I should just put on one of those stickers on the back that says, how am I driving? And then leave a number. Because that would be like, I feel like that would streamline the system a lot.
Well, I would say you don't even have to do that these days. With AI, you can have a sticker that says, how is my driving? And then it displays how your driving is going because of the computers. So it'll say, how is my driving? ? It's okay. It'll say that afterwards because AI processed all that information to determine that your driving is like, okay right now. Or like, it's not so good. Or had a little too much to drink and like a winky face. Or, gonna fall asleep pretty soon. Or stared at the sun a little too long yesterday, which that is something I had to learn was you can only stare at the sun for so many minutes. Before you get bored.
Oh, gotcha. All right, well, thank you so much for that, listener. Thank you for that feedback. I hope we answered your question. And now for today's medical topic, atherosclerotic disease. Renal atherosemboli refer to blood clots that break off or embolize and travel to block the blood supply to another part of the body. Cholesterol plaques in the aorta or near the coronary arteries are sometimes large and fragile enough that they can be broken off, and then when that happens when these blood vessels are manipulated during catheter procedures, things like that, and the cholesterol emboli lodge in the kidney, leading to acute kidney injury. So you'll look for...
Yeah, and is this similar? I mean, you say the words, it blocked a part of the body. Is this sort of a teasing reference to the fact that you blocked my foot account on Twitter?
No, but I could.
Because I thought you liked my foot account. Like you always give it likes. Like you retweet it every once in a while. I don't expect to retweet on everything I post.
Yeah,
but like I didn't expect to block, I guess.
Yeah, well, because like your feed account, like I'll admit, it like I was surprised that it did gain a following pretty quick. Yeah. But like I found that like just putting your foot in different stuff to me wasn't like, I guess to some extent it was like, okay, strangely pacifying, I guess, like strangely gratifying to like see you put your foot in yogurt, see you put your foot in mud, see you put your foot in, but then you like, you got on that Poison Ivy series for so long, put my foot in Poison Ivy. And I was expecting a new thing.
Oh, okay. Your problem is with the scientific method. Your problem is with doing an experiment and then repeating that experiment to compare the results. That's your issue, which makes sense. You're an American doctor. Your whole thing is, what does Pfizer tell me to do?
It's just, for me, because you had changed it every day, but then once, it's almost like you liked having the rash from the Poison Ivy, because you kept coming back to it.
Oh, wow. What a fun assumption. I love hearing you assume things about me. Yeah, sure, I liked the rash. It couldn't possibly be that I was stuck in that bush for multiple days. It couldn't possibly be that I just couldn't get out. And so, yeah, I kept reinfecting myself with Poison Ivy because I was there for a long time. But you wouldn't even be able to comprehend something like that. I get that.
Okay, no, I like with that information, I feel like a little worse about blocking. I just, you could have called or something, but like you really seem to just double down anytime someone criticized it and said like, oh, this is kind of gross. You're oozing and bleeding. And you were like,
oh yeah, well I'm trying to do my job, which is social
media. A lot of this.
I'm gonna call you in the middle of work and be like, oh, London, I'm doing my job. Good Lord.
And that is kind of the attitude you had when answering anyone asking you, are you okay? If you have atherosclerotic disease around your renal area, which would be your kidneys, you look for blue purplish skin, lesions in fingers and toes, livedo reticularis, which is a particular skin thing you can look up, and ocular lesions, so lesions in the eye. You'll test for the following when you suspect that: eosinophilia, low complement levels, eosinophiluria, and elevated ESR, and that shows an increase in inflammation. And remember that on physical exam for these patients, peripheral pulses are normal in atherosclerotic disease because the emboli are so small that they won't occlude the large vessels, such as the radial or brachial artery. And to diagnose atherosclerotic disease, the most accurate diagnostic test is a biopsy of one of the purplish skin lesions that I mentioned before. And the biopsy will show cholesterol crystals, and unfortunately, there's no specific therapy to reverse atherosclerotic disease.
You know what I expect to be normal? I don't know. You said normal like 45 seconds ago, so I'm just grabbing onto that. You know what I expect to be normal, Dr. London? Is that my friend and a coworker and a co-signer on my lease, thank you for that, by the way, would not just ignore, but block me just because I was posting every 30 seconds pictures of my poison ivy feet caught in a bush over the course of 6 or 7 days.
I guess one response I would have is that I did co-sign that lease under duress. That I didn't want that, and you had an anvil hoisted above my head. Like normally you bring out like an actual weapon, but no, this was an anvil. And I only know from cartoons to be scared of that, but I was scared of it.
Well, I mean, it's not really a weapon. It's just going to turn you into an accordion.
Yeah, no, and you kept saying that. You kept screaming that at me. Sign the thing, or you're an accordion. And like you were like, you're a musical guy. You like that stuff anyway.
Yeah, I think to say that that's under duress when I'm just giving you two pretty cool options. Either you sign my lease or you turn into an accordion, which is like badass. Weird Al? Albuquerque? Remember when he did that? The Star Wars songs?
And then the movie. Yeah. Yeah, no, like accordion's a cool instrument. I just didn't want anyway. Yeah, so that's atherosclerotic disease, and also that's Cameron's foot picks. Hey Cameron, so you said that we have a special guest today, is that right?
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, well, hello there. My name is drlondonsmith.com. This is our producer Cameron. What was your name?
Hi, I'm Miss Tulip Bones. I'm a kindergarten teacher over at Garden Elementary. Hi.
Hi. Hello. Oh,
hello.
For the listeners, she's waving at the camera, and it really makes me want to wave at the camera.
Yeah, we're doing a double hand wave, everybody. Double hand wave.
Okay. Wow. Hi. And is that in your culture? Is two hands different from the one hand wave?
The culture being kindergarten teachers?
Kindergarten. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Kindergarten teacher culture. Yeah, we kind of do things differently over here. I say, my classroom is sort of the place where we can express ourselves a lot, so I want my children to really, my kids, I call them my kids. I really want them to feel comfortable. And as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, you two are basically my kids now. And I'm really excited to go on this journey with you. So, yeah.
This is exciting for me because kindergarten it was around the time that I ended up dropping out. It was a whole thing. I had a record deal. I was busy. And so it was a whole thing. But I would love to, just pretend like I was back then, like pretend like I can learn.
Oh, gosh. Well, times have changed. I'll tell you that much. You would be surprised at what the kids these days are saying and what they're doing. No. You know that yesterday I had to confiscate some throwing stars from a 4-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine that?
This is since the invention of fidget spinners, I have been saying this is going to lead to throwing stars.
And I'm so glad you said that because I could not agree with you more. Fidget spinners are a gateway weapon. They're being thrown across the classroom. I've had at least 3 black eyes personally from children that just hate what I'm saying, so they throw things at me. And quite frankly, I want them banned from every classroom across the nation.
What are the things you're saying that the kindergarten students get so mad at? Because I feel like kindergarten is usually like, this color is blue. That's what a horse looks like.
Right. Well, I'm saying, well, why don't let's put a penny in our shoe and put it outside the door. And maybe, someone with good luck will come and leave you a gift. And the kids are saying, shut up, bitch. And then they're throwing erasers at me.
I'm on their side for that one, actually. Because, I've left shoes and coins outside before. And, no one ever leaves me a gift. Have you tried it and then good things happen, like someone leaves a gift, or have you lost shoes that way? Because my experience is that I lose shoes.
Well, it's about 50-50.
Oh, it's either way. Either your shoes get stolen or someone leaves a gift. That's pretty good odds.
I agree. I mean, sometimes I've put shoes outside. Shoes are completely gone when I return. Other times I put my shoe outside. I find a Slurpee. I find a 7-Eleven Slurpee hanging outside my shoe. So, and that I think is an act of God right there, is when I find a 7-Eleven Slurpee in my shoe.
Oh, you think it is God? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not me, Dr. London. It's got to be someone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess. So, and if it's God giving you a Slurpee, then I'm also wondering, is it him taking the shoes away? The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh, or is the devil? I'm sorry, this is us. I'm sure you cover this in kindergarten.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Well, Satan is real, and and I'll stick by that forever. But I mean, it's either God taking the shoes, or it's the weird guy that hangs outside the elementary school all day long.
What I'm curious about, so I've got 2 little ones going into kindergarten this year. Samantha, she's 4. And then Samuel, he's 37 years old, but he just wants to go back just to sort of get a second degree, basically.
To refresh his memory.
Yeah. And so he he was like, okay, I did the whole education thing, but I'm not doing what I want to in life. So let's start it over. Let's start from the beginning. A lot of people go back to college. He's like, no, let's go back to the beginning. Let me start from the beginning.
Well, he saw Happy Gilmore and he's like, well, that seems like a pretty easy. Is that the one where he goes to school again?
Yeah, Happy Gilmore is the one where he goes back to school and then he hits a golf ball really hard with a golf club that he got from the school.
Okay.
You would be surprised how many adults show up to the school saying, I just saw Happy Gilmore. What can I do to get inside your classroom? What do I have to pay? I would love to start all over from K to 12. And we have to turn some away, but other ones, it breaks my heart because who am I to turn away a full-grown man posing as a child? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, in that movie, I'm not sure if you've seen the movie, but the teacher actually does become a love interest for him.
The teacher is the love interest. And here's the thing about that is it's very shaky ground because some years I walk into my classroom, bunch of little kids. And I don't play that way, homie. I do not play that way. But every once in a while, I'll get someone over the age of 40. Fair game. I'm slipping little notes into their folders, their take-home folders, I'm slipping little notes that say maybe call me, things like that.
Yeah. To who? To which one? Sorry, to the kids who did bad in the class, or
no, to the ones that are over 18.
Okay.
To the ones that are full-grown adults.
Well, that's what we're sort of hoping for, my young lad, my 37-year-old son. Trying to get married off a little bit. I think maybe can find someone at the school, just sort of hoping. Anything to get him out there,
Of course, and I'm actually trying to get an elementary school speed dating event sponsored by the PTA, but they're really fighting back on it. So,
well, I mean, are you single?
I mean, I'm in a couple of situationships, so
Okay.
take that as you will.
Would you be interested in a 37-year-old man who doesn't know his colors?
Oh my gosh, would I?
Okay.
Would
Okay, this is
I?
great. Okay.
I would.
Yeah, this is amazing because
Sorry, and you're talking about Samuel, not yourself, right?
No, I know at least 3 colors. Blue.
Okay, just
give me a second. Blue.
yeah, on the spot. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with
Blue.
this.
We'll just say
I'm trying to.
blue. Blue.
No, I don't. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, go on.
That's it, right? I
Yeah.
said 3, blue and blue.
Samuel. No, sorry. I meant go on with the story, not with more.
Oh.
I don't want to put you on the spot with the colors.
Yeah.
Samuel and
I could listen to you list colors all day long. I love listening to people struggle with naming colors. It actually it calms me down.
Then you would love my son. Oh my gosh, that is most of what he talks about. Oh gosh. This is really exciting. I didn't expect this from this episode. Wow. I would love to hear about the state of kindergarten today. There's been a lot of talk in the news lately about just like education in general. I've learned a lot about how like schools are indoctrinating our children to think that like this color's red, this color's purple, all of these different things. What is your take on like the current state?
Oh gosh. Well, I guess I really would have to say that I think that a lot of the kids these days are weak. Simply put, they're weaklings. And so I'm trying to toughen them up, put them through a lot of physical challenges. I want every day, my goal is to have kids panting out of breath because they have been worked to the bone physically. And as they're walking out, they say, "Miss Bones, I don't know if I could do this again tomorrow." And I say, "Well, gear up, buddy. This is the next 12 years of your life."
mhm.
So
well, that's just
that's an
just
everyday thing.
college prep.
Exactly. I'm prepping them for college. I'm prepping them for when their car breaks down. I'm saying, "Fix mine. Let's learn how a tire works." And then 30 years from now, you're going to call me up and you're going to be thanking me. And maybe that's why they hate me. It's okay. I'm okay with being hated.
Oh, I mean, if they liked you, that would probably be a problem, right? I mean, what do kids like these days except for their dang phones?
You know what? They like a bunch of silly putty. You'd be surprised how many times I open up a desk, bunch of silly putty in there. Basically gluing the desk shut. It's disgusting.
Is that an issue? I need to text my son if so, because he was planning on getting a bunch of silly putty. You don't want silly putty in the class?
It's not a deal breaker. You can let him know it's not a deal breaker if he brings silly putty with us out.
Okay.
But it is one of those things where
Does the color matter?
oh, does the color matter?
Because I think he's just trying to learn what color it is.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. Like today was, if I'm not mistaken, Cameron, because it's fresh in your mind, it is a blue day. Everything's blue that you're buying him.
Yeah, it's a blue day.
Okay, yeah. So that's traditionally how in Cameron's family they learn what colors are. They just pick one color and they do that for, I guess, a few years.
I love that. I do that with all the toddlers. You know, the ones that really are struggling to grasp anything. We stick to one thing and we really drill it into them.
And then by the time they graduate from kindergarten, then they'll know one thing.
I want these kids to be able to do a somersault across the graduation floor. I want these kids to be able to, these little kindergartners, to walk across the graduation floor, grab their diploma, shake hands with the principal and say, "Thank you, sir, for your service. I am forever indebted to you." That is my goal as an educator.
What is your goal for you? I mean, there's not enough, like, everyone focuses on, the education for the kids, but teachers are underpaid. They don't have the support that they need. Like, how are you doing as a teacher?
Oh gosh, not well. I'm sleeping in my
no.
car.
Sure.
Pretty much every day is hummus and cheese. That's pretty much my diet these days.
These sound reasonable because, again, like, yes, I want to send my grown son to kindergarten, but I don't want my tax dollars to pay for it. Are you kidding? And so to know that my tax dollars aren't going for, like, going towards your housing or food in general, okay, that gives me a ton of peace of mind.
I live to serve you. That's kind of the whole thing with education is that, but I honestly, at the end of the day, my goal as a human, I want to be a grandma. But I need a boyfriend first is what they're telling me. I need a boyfriend first.
Oh, wow. I mean, not to throw things out there, but my 37-year-old son who's going to be probably joining your class soon, he already comes with 2 grandchildren.
He's a grandfather?
Yes, yeah, he's a grandfather.
Wow.
Although,
holy
like
shit.
when it comes to child support and stuff, like he doesn't always like say all of this out loud. Like there's some legal stuff, and like a question of who's the father. But like we know, we're pretty sure those kids couldn't come from anyone else.
Yeah, he found those kids.
And I love that. And I don't even care if the question is who's the father. So, something else that I like to do in my classroom is at the end of every school day, I take each kindergartner, spin them around 3 times, and have all the parents line up. And I go, find who your parent is. And I try to see if they can smell them out. Because kids are a lot like dogs in that way. So
it's sort of like key parties in the 70s. You throw your key into a fishbowl and then someone else takes it out and you just go home with whoever.
And parents love that. Sometimes with fish. And parents love to, sometimes they're having so much fun. They call me and they go, I think I went home with the wrong kid. Oh, Miss Bones, I think I brought home the wrong child. And we have a great laugh about it. We have a wonderful laugh. And I say, let's meet at the police station. Because I think that the officers are going to have a laugh. So,
well, I mean,
awesome.
Think about it from their perspective. You've got this kid who's just a drag. This kid's 5, and it's just like every time he talks to you, he wants something. It's like food.
He's a literal drag. Like if you try to take him anywhere.
Oh,
like he'll
God.
just be
you literally
lazy.
have to drag him around. And then one day you take a different kid home from school, and this kid's pretty cool. Good taste in music, awesome movie recs, can skateboard, like knows all the cool slangs and like lingo and stuff. And it's like, why would I want the OG kid back, right? Like,
yeah. This is how you got Samuel, right?
Yeah, this is how I got Samuel. Is I dropped my kid off at kindergarten, or this was preschool, my 4-year-old, and then in a sort of key party situation, I got my son, my or at the time 36-year-old son. And now he's looking to continue his education.
I love that. I really love that.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here, but I do feel as if like, we've all got to get back to our own classes. You know what I mean? But Miss Tulip Bones, is there anyone that you're a fan of that you'd love to shout out on social media and stuff?
My niece, Squid Shell, on Instagram at Squid Shell. She's a wonderful improviser in the Los Angeles area, and she's a funny little gal.
Okay, so Squid Shell.
Squid Shell. Squid Shell. It's like Michelle, but with the squid at the beginning.
Thank you so much for stopping by, Miss Tulip Bones. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Did You Know the Host?